A leap of faith. Sophie had always dreamed of studying abroad, but the idea of leaving her family and friends behind made her anxious. Despite her fears, she knew that studying in a foreign country would be an incredible opportunity for personal growth and language acquisition. So, she mustered up the courage to apply to a university in the United States. After weeks of waiting, Sophie received an acceptance letter. She was thrilled, but also terrified. Leaving everything she knew behind was a daunting prospect. But she reminded herself of the reasons why she wanted to go: to improve her English skills, to gain international experience, and to challenge herself. Sophie arrived in the US with an open mind and a sense of adventure. However, the reality of adjusting to a new culture and a different education system proved to be more difficult than she had anticipated. She struggled to make friends and to understand her coursework. Sophie missed her family and friends back home terribly, and wondered if she had made a mistake by coming to the US. But she refused to give up. She sought help from her professors and classmates, and attended language exchange programs to improve her English skills. Slowly but surely, things began to improve. Sophie made friends from all over the world, and even started to enjoy her coursework. She took advantage of every opportunity that came her way, whether it was exploring new parts of the city or participating in cultural events. By the end of her first year in the US, Sophie had transformed from a timid and anxious student to a confident and resilient individual. She had learned that taking a leap of faith was not easy, but that it was worth it in the end. She was proud of herself for pushing through the difficulties and for embracing new experiences. Sophie's story taught her that sometimes, in order to achieve our dreams, we must take a leap of faith and leave our comfort zones behind. It may be scary, but it is also an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The secret recipe. Sophia had always loved cooking. She would spend hours in the kitchen experimenting with new recipes and ingredients, and her family and friends loved to taste her delicious creations. One day, while browsing through a cookbook at the local library, Sophia stumbled upon an old, tattered recipe book. The pages were yellowed with age, and the handwriting was faded, but Sophia couldn't resist taking it home with her. As she flipped through the pages, Sophia realized that the recipes were unlike any she had ever seen before. The ingredients were exotic and the cooking techniques were complex, but Sophia was determined to try them out. She started with the simplest recipe in the book, a dish called spiced lamb with apricots, and spent an entire afternoon preparing it. When she presented the dish to her family, they were amazed by how delicious it was. Sophia beamed with pride, and knew that she had stumbled upon something truly special. She continued to experiment with the recipes in the old cookbook, and each one was better than the last. As Sophia became more confident in her cooking abilities, she decided to enter a cooking competition. She spent weeks perfecting her signature dish, a savory chicken curry with coconut milk and turmeric, and on the day of the competition, she was nervous but excited. When it was her turn to present her dish to the judges, Sophia's heart was pounding. She took a deep breath and served the curry with a smile. The judges took a bite and their faces lit up with pleasure. Sophia's dish was declared the winner, and she was thrilled. After the competition, one of the judges approached Sophia and asked her for the recipe. Sophia hesitated for a moment, but then decided to share her secret with the judge. She handed him the old, tattered recipe book, and the judge looked at it with wonder. "This is amazing," he said. "Where did you find it?" Sophia smiled and said, "I found it at the library. It was just sitting on the shelf, waiting to be discovered." Sophia's story taught her that sometimes, the best things in life are found when we least expect them. Her love of cooking had led her to a secret recipe book, and her persistence and determination had helped her to perfect the recipes. She had also learned that sharing her talents and knowledge with others was just as important as achieving success for herself. The missing painting. It was a sunny day in Paris when Maria, a young art student, decided to visit the Louvre Museum. As she strolled through the galleries admiring the paintings, she noticed a blank space on the wall. Maria asked the guard what painting was supposed to be there, and the guard replied, "It's called The Flower Girl by Renoir. Unfortunately, it was stolen a few weeks ago." Maria's heart sank. She had seen a painting with the same title in her art history textbook and had always dreamed of seeing it in person. She decided to investigate the theft. She went to the museum's security office and asked to see the footage from the day the painting went missing. After watching hours of footage, she noticed a suspicious figure lurking around the gallery where the flower girl was displayed. Maria took a screenshot of the figure and brought it to the police. They immediately recognized him as a notorious art thief who had been on the run for years. With Maria's help, the police were able to track down the thief and recover the painting. As a reward for her help, Maria was given a private viewing of the flower girl and was even allowed to touch the canvas. Maria was overjoyed. She couldn't believe that she had played a small part in bringing the stolen painting back to the museum. She left the Louvre that day with a newfound sense of purpose, knowing that she had the ability to make a difference in the world of art. The Broken Vase. Lucas was a clumsy guy. He was always knocking things over and breaking them. His parents were getting tired of it, and his mother told him that he needed to be more careful. One day, Lucas went to visit his grandmother's house. She had a beautiful vase in the living room that was very valuable to her. As he was walking by, Lucas accidentally hit the table and knocked over the vase. It fell to the ground and shattered into a million pieces. Lucas was devastated. He knew how much the vase meant to his grandmother, and he didn't know what to do. He tried to put the pieces back together, but it was no use. The vase was beyond repair. Lucas went to his grandmother and told her what had happened. She was upset at first, but then she hugged him and told him that it was just a vase and that she was happy he was okay. Lucas was surprised by his grandmother's reaction, and he felt a sense of relief. The next day, Lucas went to his grandmother's house and saw that the broken vase was replaced by a new one. He asked his grandmother how she was able to get a new one so quickly. She smiled and told him that it was just a vase, and that what was important was that they were together. From that day forward, Lucas was more careful with his actions. He learned that accidents happen, and that it's important to take responsibility for his mistakes. But he also learned that the love and connection he had with his family was more important than any material possession.